up the ladder. Akinlaja's doggedness and pursuit of education was made possible then by two factors. Number one was the general atmosphere and opportunity made available by the government of that time. And number two, because education had been built into the DNA in Western region by that incredible step of Chief Obafemi Awolowo democratizing access to education and convincing everybody in the old Western region that the most credible and available ladder to rise up the socio-economic ladder was education. These were the two factors that kept Akinlaja going. He did all sorts of manual jobs to ensure that he got education. But those were days when, with little effort, the society itself was built in such a way that you got a feeling in the determination to move on. And Akinlaja getting up did not pull down the ladder through which he got up. In that season, in those seasons, people had the opportunity. Most cases remembered the people they left behind there. We cannot say that categorically of this season because I don't have time much, but I just try to make some point because I think opportunities like this do not come every day. In this hall, I don't know of any event in Abuja recently where you have the creme de la creme of trade union in a single hall like this. The circumstances had Akinlaja to move on. And getting up, he did not kick away the ladder through which he got up. Many people don't understand Akinlaja's generosity. Many people are confounded. How is this man managing? How is he coping? But I think he always remembers that there are many people down there looking for the opportunity and waiting for the helping hand to pull them up. I can testify to the fact that Akinlaja has done so well in this regard. They talk about wisdom and all. Yes, it's imbued with wisdom and a lot of native intelligence. And when you see Akinlaja is soft out there, but right inside is solid granite inside. He's legendary dogged. When he pursues a cause, he pursues it. But that cause would invariably be a cause for justice, a cause for the underprivileged. He never shies away from any struggle or any battle. When I had issues with my former boss and PDP and all of that, and I needed a platform to run for election, it was Akinlaja that actually convinced them that I will not be a disgrace to the labor movement running on the platform of the Labour Party. It was Akinlaja who gave the encouragement, because I remember that they said, how can you bring somebody who is not a unionist? But I leave the rest to history. It is at times very difficult to be modest, but I think we give a good account of ourselves, translating government translating social democratic theory into practice in terms of government program and all of that. Now let me come to NLC, TUC, and the Labour. Nigeria today is going through a very horrible, harrowing experience. As a matter of fact, like punch proof it, we are sleepwalking into a civil war. One thing anybody cannot deny today is the level of insecurity in this nation. Politics is driven mostly by two major narratives. That narrative could be identity, your religion, your ethnic nationality, and all of that. Then, there's also the ideological narrative. What do you represent? Do you represent the capitalist, the bourgeoisie, the conservative? Do you represent the progressive wing of the polity? In most cases, these are the two narratives that drive politics. Today in Nigeria, the dominant narrative is identity. You see a Fulani man, you see a Yoruba, you see an Igbo man. And one of the reasons why identity narrative has been dominant is the fact that the ideological narrative has invariably been absent in the polity. Because if there is thorough ideological narrative and labor is here, you will find out that the problem with Nigeria today, some of the problems that masquerades as ethnic nationality problems, is actually a mishmash of identity and class struggle. And I'll give two examples. And I say this with due respect to everybody. I'm a Nigerian, I believe in Nigeria, I love a big country like Nigeria. But Nigeria, I want to belong to, I want it to be a Nigeria that is progressive, that is structured for productivity. So, I'm not talking from the perspective of anybody other than a Nigerian. Now, let me just say that I give two examples for people to know. I just want us to know the intersection between identity and ideology in Nigerian position today. Let's start with cattle grazing. And I keep saying this. Some have argued that nomadism is in the DNA of the Fulani man, that is part of his subculture and all of that. Okay, yeah, it's okay. But those who are proponents of this theory have their own children in Harvard, in Cambridge, in Oxford. They will not pray and dream of a situation where their own children will accompany cow from Maiduguri to Lagos in the name of a culture, whatever name. For me, modern culture is an ideological problem. It's a class conspiracy. It's a predating capitalist mindset. And we have to interrogate it for what it is. And I say this with all responsibility, with all sense, and I have respect for all religions in Nigeria and everywhere. I am Christian. Many of my siblings are Muslims. So I want us to interrogate the Almajiri system for what it is. For me, it's a class issue. And I thank God that recently the governor of Katsina State told us that as a matter of fact, open grazing, by the way, is anti-Islamic. But because these are issues that require deep interrogation, I may not have the time to go into all those things. But a situation, the Almajiri system, cannot be justified in modern times. And I think the moment, because we say that Nigerians have 10 million out of school children and all of that, one of the major contributors to this is this Almajiri system. There's nothing wrong with Islamic education, but it must, to my mind, be structured such that the humanity of those kids who go about with bows begging on the streets, their humanity and their future are not truncated. But in any case, whether we like it or not, when they grow old, those that will refuse to give the right type of education and training, when they grow, they won't allow to sleep at night. The point I am making is that labor must, there's a lacuna in the political conversation in this country. That ideological lacuna. And to my mind, labor is in a very good position to occupy that space. Because those are fundamental issues that are begging. Apart from football today, I don't know of any institution or any platform that binds the whole of Nigeria together. The other major...
We were also very young activists at that time. And of course, profoundly, I must say that we disagreed on principle and on the basis of our understanding of what trade unions should do. We believed that what was going on, some of the things that Chief Kokori has referred to, were tyranny of the majority, and that labor can do two things. Activists on behalf of its members who have subscribed to its leadership, and then labor can also be a platform for reform for societies, and you have to leave that platform where you are representing a minority to come to a platform where you are representing a majority, and you can transgress to that. And that means there is a line drawn between representation for workers and representation for the people. And we disagreed on that. And I still believe that we are right. And of course, many things happened thereafter, of course, also the things that Chief Kokori has said. And while that was going on, I also confirmed that they tolerated us for holding different view. And I know I have engaged Comrade Akilaja, including Chief of Kokori. And the rest is now history. I'm happy today that Comrade Akilaja transgressed from that platform of representation of workers to representation of people, and he succeeded there. It is very possible to separate the two. Secondly, I also personal view, big sub-comments. I'm only going to comment on one, what Excellency Governor Mimiko said about education. I'm proud to say that I was product of the Almajiri school. I could read and write before I started primary school. And I can confirm to you, Excellency, that under the Almajiri school, it's just the name. Otherwise, in one place, you have a nursery, primary school, secondary school, university, and you can also have a professor in that same location. But that system was unfairly, unjustly, and violently taken out. And what you see about the young kids that go around the street is not the representation of the Almajiri system. It is an educational system that has stood thousands of years, that has produced professors, and I can confirm to your excellencies and all of us that under the shade of the Almajiri professor, you have arithmetic is taught, science is taught, astronomy is taught, medicine is taught. And people specialize in different ways, and that you do have professors that are taken as ordinary people in our society today. And therefore, what the Almajiri system needs is recognition and also improvement. But obviously, it will be impossible to say that the replacement of the Almajiri system is the Western education that we are running today. It is not possible. And therefore, as the engagement must continue in this country, elites must engage very positively, so that even the issues around security, I'm sure we all agree there are security issues, but on the line reason, it's an economic reason. And that economic reason is all of us here, everybody here is guilty. Everybody. Let me tell you why. There is nobody here of this caliber, not everybody, maybe not everybody, maybe unfair. Every one of us send our children to private schools. Forget about those ways. There's no distinction between the man who takes his children to a school, a private school here, and the one that takes to London. They are all private. They are all indication that you do not want your children to go to this school. And you want something better for them. You don't want something better for the rest of them. So therefore, it is time for all of us elites here to recognize that we do need to close that balance of different difference between those who have low income or low ability and those who are above it. And beyond that, so any conversation can continue, but we must recognize this. And therefore, it's not about President Buhari or this government, but it is about the recognition of elites, all of us. We are all responsible. Thank you very much.